best advice I would have for anybody who's not particularly confident, has no idea about mortgages is don't feel like you need to be on your own. You absolutely don't. This isn't something you have to do all by yourself. There's a whole host of people out there that are here to help you. And with any questions that you've got, with any obstacles that you see, or even if it's just gaining the knowledge and the confidence that you need sometimes in terms of venturing out there and buying your own home or remortgaging a home that you've already got. Mortgage brokers, mortgage advisors, building societies, absolutely the people to go and speak to. We're here to help you, particularly those customers that aren't that confident. There's a wide range of things to consider when deciding what's the right mortgage for you, but I'll keep it simple and give you 3 good things to think about. The first one is how large the loan is. Now what's important with this is how much deposit you have, and the size of your deposit puts you in a really good position to negotiate the best mortgage deals. So quite often it can be best to put down as large a deposit as you feel you can afford, and that will give your mortgage broker a really good opportunity to negotiate the best deal for you. You'll hear some language such as loan to value, and that's the ratio of the mortgage loan that you require versus the value of the property, the difference being the deposit that you're willing to put down. The second thing that I would say to consider is how long do you want your mortgage for? Now a key feature of this decision is how much you can afford each month. The longer your mortgage term, the more interest you will pay over that term, of course, but it will bring your mortgage payments down each month. First-time buyers often consider longer mortgage terms in those early years when affordability is really important. And then as they get older and perhaps earn more, they're in a position to renegotiate their mortgage and bring the mortgage term down to even shorter levels and get it paid off early, pay less interest. The third thing to consider would be the special rate period, the product that you choose to take with your mortgage. You'll hear language such as fixed rate, base rate tracker, discounted rate deals. And this is where your mortgage broker will take the time to understand what's particularly important to you and understand your circumstances to find the best mortgage product for your needs. So when you've made that decision to actually speak to a mortgage broker, they will absolutely talk you through the whole process and what to expect. They will look something like this. The mortgage broker will be absolutely keen to get to know you, get to know what's important to you about your mortgage and your home and where you're moving to, your plans, your dreams, your ambitions. They absolutely want to know all about you from a very technical perspective as well, so your incoming, your outgoing, having a look at your credit history. Things like that absolutely is important for the mortgage broker to give you the best personalised, tailored advice. And that's absolutely crucial. Because whilst you're having that discussion with your mortgage broker, they're sifting through all the different types of mortgages, all the different lenders that are out there offering mortgages on the market. And they will match you and your individual particular needs to the right mortgage deal and to the right lender. And that's where advice is really key. There's a whole host of options out there when it comes to mortgage deals, whether it's the right term, the right rate, the right product. Quite a complex mix there, and that's the beauty of talking to a mortgage broker. They'll be able to get that right blend of mortgage features that best match your personal needs. Once you've had that mortgage advice and there's a recommendation made to you by the mortgage broker, all clearly laid out to you with full regulatory guidance there to support you, you'll be able to make a choice on whether to proceed or not. At that moment, when you've got the confidence to say yes and go ahead, the mortgage broker will submit your application for you to a lender. The lender will then verify all the information that you provided to your mortgage broker, and that will involve some paperwork, wage slips and bank statements. They'll look at your credit record as well. That's often done by an underwriter. And if all that goes well, they'll instruct a valuation on your property. That may mean somebody comes out to the house to have a look at it, a qualified chartered surveyor. Or it could be done on a desktop basis. It can be really slick. It can be very fast and easy at that time. If there are any obstacles, the mortgage broker will be there to work for you, engaging with the underwriter to resolve any issues. And so there'll be a good, healthy relationship there between yourself, your mortgage broker, and the underwriter at the lender. All goes well, a mortgage offer will be issued. Typically, you can expect one of those within 10 working days. If you're really good, you'll also be having your conveyancing work done at the same time, in parallel with the mortgage lender. Often it takes a little bit more time because it could be a little bit more complex with searches being conducted. And so you're typically looking at between 6 to 10 weeks there for the conveyancing work to happen. The conveyancer will then pull together your mortgage offer and work with you and your mortgage broker to agree a completion date. And so you're in complete control as to what date you want your mortgage to complete. You'll exchange contracts if it's a purchase, and your conveyancer will ensure that you complete. If you're buying a house, you receive the keys on the day that works for you. Typically, I would say that you do not need an agreement in principle before viewing houses and flats. However, there's a couple of things to consider. Currently, we're hearing from many customers that estate agents are asking for an agreement in principle before allowing people to view properties. Now, at the moment, that's just a COVID-19 measure to reduce the number of customers to only those that can demonstrate affordability before viewing a property. That may pass in the coming weeks and months. Beyond that, though, although I wouldn't say you need an agreement in principle to view a property, there are certain benefits to having one. When you view a property, the vendor will often want to assess their confidence in your ability to proceed with a house purchase if you were to put an offer on the table after conducting a viewing. And an agreement in principle is a really good way to build that confidence. It suggests that you've already spoken to a mortgage broker and already had an assessment of your finances made. Perhaps your details have already been run past another lender, and a lender has given you an initial thumbs up on whether they're willing to lend to you or not. It may involve a credit search as well. And so with all those factors combined, it can be a really good tool in terms of instilling confidence in vendors when you're out there searching for your dream property. To obtain an agreement in principle then, is quite simple. A good conversation with a mortgage broker, typically 20 to 30 minutes is all it takes, to give them an opportunity to explore your finances and your personal circumstances, talk about your income and your outgoing. They'll perhaps put some of your details into a lender which they think would be most likely to lend to you. They may have a credit search. Sometimes that can be what we call a soft footprint, so it doesn't leave a mark on your credit profile. And with that information, a lender can give an initial thumbs up that they would lend to you in principle if you were to proceed with an application. With that agreement in principle, you've got confidence then that you can view the properties within certain price ranges and that you can proceed with a mortgage application if you were to put an offer in on a property. If you're struggling to decide between a fixed rate and a discounted rate mortgage, then I'd absolutely recommend that you speak to a mortgage broker. They'll be able to have a simple conversation with you to lay out the benefits of each different type of mortgage product for you. Typically, a fixed rate is beneficial for those customers where maintaining the same payments each month is most important. Perhaps where you feel uncomfortable with a sharp increase in mortgage payments if interest rates were to increase. However, a discounted rate mortgage is particularly good for those customers that have that extra level of confidence with their monthly finances and will perhaps want to benefit from a drop in interest rate payments and take that risk that rates might actually go the other way. A good mortgage broker will be able to talk you through those options and help you assess how strong your finances are and your ability to respond if interest rates did increase. The process of getting a mortgage can be daunting, but it can also be absolutely simple. The difference between the two very much comes down to preparation. How prepared are you for that moment at which you think, yes, I'm ready now to apply for my mortgage and buy the house that you dreamed and made of? When it comes to that preparation, absolutely my advice would be to speak to someone as soon as possible. A mortgage advisor is there to hold your hand and guide you through those initial questions so that you can be prepared. And what does that look like? It can be as simple as making sure you've got your wage slips organised over the last 3 to 6 months. Your bank statements are all in order. that you're registered on the electoral roll for the house that you're living in now. Simple things like that can make the process very simple if you're prepared, or very daunting if you're not. But absolutely, speaking to a mortgage advisor as soon as possible can absolutely help you tackle those early questions, those early concerns. So the process, rather than being daunting, is absolutely simple.